Hi, welcome. First off, I just want to say sorry for the clickbaity thumbnail and title, but don't worry, it's not a scam. I'm not 343, just trying to get them views. You know how YouTube be. So don't worry, I'll talk about the things in the thumbnail and some other things that I think others aren't really talking about as much. The things I want to talk about are the weapons, mainly the gravity hammer and bandit rifle, some of the performance issues, crashing, server lag, and altogether all of Season 3. Just wanted to say that at the start of the video so that you know what you're going to watch, and just know that this is all my own opinion, so you can agree or disagree, just hold back the gamer words, and hope you enjoy the video. When I first started writing the script, it was about almost 3 weeks into Season 3 for Halo Infinite, and originally I wanted it to be more of a criticism rather than critique type of video, out of spite, but hear me out, it was only because for some dumb reason, 343 decided to add objectives into SWAT, or as they would like to call it, Tactical Slayer. Like, come on, why would you ever add something as dumb as objectives into SWAT? Like, who's dumb enough to think of it? Like what the fuck? Sorry about that, but yeah, you can see that I was a bit unhappy with the addition of objectives in SWAT. I'll get into that later in the video because I want to talk about all of the good of Season 3 first and my overall thoughts of Season 3, and then I'll do my nitpicky takes in the later half of the video. We all know how god-awful of a Season 1 we got, and a pretty bad and boring Season 2 as well, but at the end of Season 2, something was changing within 343 Studios. Whether it be bad or good for the whole, but something was different and happening to Halo Infinite. With the launch of Season 3, it seemed that somehow 343 was able to get this train back on its tracks. And not only were they able to do that, but somehow they're able to keep it going steady. Well, for the most part, but there's always a few bumps on the road, so it's fine. Season 3 launched back on Tuesday, March 7th, 2023, and with it came a new 100 tier battle pass. It's an okay battle pass this time, and a lot better than Season 2's battle pass. There's quite a few coatings in the battle pass for both your weapon and Spartan, well, if it's for the same core that you're using, sadly. And speaking of cores, we get two new cores, the Mirage core and the Chimera core. The first one looks decent, and the second one is just the crisis game that your mom tells you we have back at home. I know I said I'll save the nitpicky stuff for later, but can we just stop with the armor cores? Where's the cross core already? Even with the new cores, they barely have any other pieces that you can pick from. And with Season 4, we're getting a new core, and this one looks like shit. It looks like damn Lion from Rainbow Six Siege. Like, what the fuck? Anywho, getting back to Season 3, we also got 3 new maps. Cliffhanger and Chasm, the 2 new arena maps, and the third map, Oasis, being the new BTB map. Finally. The Cliffhanger map is decent. It's kinda similar to Launch Site, but smaller and with less cover, and I think Launch Site was the least liked map in Halo Infinite. And just like Launch Site, I think both would have been better if they were bigger and made for BTB instead of Arena. Chasm, the other arena map, also isn't that great. Feels way too small and very open sightlines, so you can easily spawn trap players. And it kinda looks almost vaguely similar to something, but I can't think of it. The last map, Oasis, honestly, it's a pretty solid map for BTB and plays very nicely, so good job there 343. And while we're on the topic of maps, before Season 3, so back in Season 2, I know this is about Season 3, but things happened and started changing towards the end of Season 2, and I think it's something important, and I'll get into that in a bit. So, at the end of Season 2, 343 added 4 new maps that were made by the community. All 4 maps look really nice, and it works with the Halo Infinite sandbox. Then about a month into Season 3, they added 3 more maps made by the community. And I know it's not dev-made maps, but these maps look dev-made, and it's always nice to get more maps. So we got 7 maps added into matchmaking, and it might seem sad that the community has to make the maps and not 343 themselves, but this is why I said it was important to talk about the first 4 community maps that were added into matchmaking. In the last month of Season 2, 343 added Absolution, Perilous, Salvation, and Starbound, the first 4 community-made maps that got added into the matchmaking map list. Then about a month into Season 3, they added Curfew, Solution, and Vagabond, an additional 3 new maps that got added into the matchmaking map list that were made by the community. There's a 4th map, but that one got held back because of bugs or issues or something like that. Not sure, but that map is called Nemesis. I don't see it as sad or unlucky that we have to rely on the community to make maps. I see it more as encouragement for forgers and for those who want to try to make a map and maybe seeing it end up in multiplayer. And if you do get a map into multiplayer, you'll get a coating for your Spartan. To me, that sounds kind of familiar to Bungie's favorites back in Halo 3. And when you did get in Bungie's favorites, you'd get recon armor. But don't quote me on that because I'm not actually sure if you did, but that's what I've heard, so let's keep it like that. So in Halo 3, you'd get armor, and in Halo Infinite, you'd get a coating. Not as cool as recon armor,
Recon.
but still pretty cool to have. So I'm really happy that 343 is working with the community and helping us get more maps. And who knows, maybe at the end of Season 3 or at the start of Season 4, we'll get 4 new maps that were made by the community. So continuing with the new things in Season 3, we got a new piece of equipment, the Shroud screen. This is basically Halo's take on the smoke screen from other games like CSGO and Valorant, and it's good. The way it works is kind of like how a smoke screen would. When used, you shoot this bubble, and if you're inside the Shroud screen, you can't see out. And same if you're outside, you can't see who's inside it. And when you are inside the bubble, your motion tracker won't show you anyone that's outside, and if you're outside, it won't show you who's inside the bubble. It's fun to use, you can block enemy sight lines and cover your teammates with it as well. But at times you might only be blocking your sight lines and giving the cover to the enemy, so use with caution. Another addition we got to the sandbox was with the new weapon, the Bandit Rifle. Essentially the DMR from Halo Reach, and it's decent. It's a rifle, yet you can't use it like the Battle Rifle or the Commando, so you can't go for those long range fights, and people want to scope on this weapon. I don't mind using it if I spawn with one, but will I pick one up from the ground if I see one? Yeah, if I'm out of ammo and I need a weapon. I don't really know how to feel about the Bandit Rifle. Like, if I'm playing regular Slayer or BTB and Bandit Rifle starts, yeah, sure, I'll play, I don't mind. But if it's AR starts, then I most likely won't even touch the Bandit Rifle. I just use the sidekick instead, because to me, the Bandit Rifle is a slower firing sidekick, but with a few more rounds in the mag.
Our mags.
So was it a good thing to add the Bandit Rifle when we already had the Commando and Battle Rifle? I don't know. Do I want them to remove it? No, I don't. Though I think it was a bad thing to add to Halo Infinite. I don't know. I can't really land on the side of whether I like it or not. I just don't care for it, I guess. But who knows, maybe I'll pick it up and use it once in a while. 343 also gave us a new narrative event, a lot better than Season 2's, and we got a new Fracture event with a free 10-tier battle pass, and another free 10 tiers a few weeks after launch. It's not much, but hey, free is free. They've also been making some good changes to the multiplayer in regards to the playlist changes and some of the weapons buffs or nerfs. Not always good, but for the majority it's been fine. Some of it has been a bit slow, but I think it's okay because now they're finally getting content out the door and into the players' hands. 343 is also listening onto what we want to play and what we don't want to play. We finally got BTB heavies after since asking for it back in Season 1. We also got Team Escalation and Ultimate Fiesta, not as fun as say maybe like Action Sack. Please 343, can we get that? But still fun to play from time to time or when you just want to have a few more games before going offline. All in all, I think 343 did a pretty good job with Season 3. So far it seems they've got things back in order. It's not everything back in order, we're far from that, but at least now we know that they're trying to get Halo Infinite to a point where everyone will enjoy playing it. Right now, as of writing this part, it's about a month till Season 4, and just like with anything new, there has been rumors and leaks of what Season 4 will be like and what the new things will be in Season 4. I can't show you any of it because I don't want to anger 343 and, get... However, I can talk about it and use what 343 themselves have posted so far of Season 4, and from what the things they've posted, we know the 2 new maps, Infection, Rank Progression. We also know that the enemy AI from the campaign are coming to Forge, and I really cannot wait to see what people can make with that. The new maps also look nice. I don't know if I could show you a picture of them, so I won't, but at least I could tell you their names. The first one is called Scar. This one is the new BTB map, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I think someone said this map will be like Halo 3's map Avalanche, but with no snow and it's a banished work site or mining site. Again, not sure if it's true. The other one is the Arena map, and this one is called Forest. This one looks really pretty. It gives me a Beaver Creek look, not map layout wise, but the greenery looks nice, so maybe a Delta Halo feel. But that's all Season 4 stuff, and I can't wait for it. After playing Infinite from the start, it's crazy that Season 3 is ending so fast. I know it's not that fast, only about 3 months for Season 3, but that's a lot faster than Season 1 and 2. So Season 3 was definitely a step up from the last 2 seasons, but it wasn't that good. And now this is where I'll be giving my takes and nitpicks of Season 3. And like I said at the start of the video, This is my own opinion, so you can agree or disagree, but just keep it civil. We're all adults here. So there's a few things I wasn't happy with in Season 3, and other things that really need to be fixed already. I'll start with the smaller things and then get into the main takes, I guess. So first is with the weapons, mainly the gravity hammer and bandit rifle. The gravity hammer just feels weak to use at times. There have been plenty of times where I would swing the hammer and it would only get them down to one shot and not a full kill. So I would have to swing again, but the animation takes so long that by the time the hammer hits, my body's already on the ground, leaving the enemy to get away. There's even been times where the enemy would use the gravity hammer and it would only get me down to one shot and I'm able to drop them and get away, and that sucks. I feel bad sometimes. So that's why I rarely use the gravity hammer, and it's honestly one of my favorite weapons from any game. I don't know if it needs a small damage buff or a faster animation swing, but either would be fine. The other weapon is the bandit rifle, and I already did give my take earlier on in the video, but now I'll give a bit more on why I don't agree on having it in Halo, but mainly in SWAT, and I'll get into that in a bit. I said I don't care about the bandit rifle, which is true, because I don't see it as a weapon worth picking it up. It's fun to use and all, but since there's the bandit rifle and commando, I'd just rather use those. They feel better, more accurate, and faster to use. I feel that it feels exactly like the DMR from Reach. I'd like it more, and would even go for it. They could have added so many other things into Infinite. The brute shot, fuel rod cannon, the pump shotgun, the Spartan laser. There's a few good ones that a lot of people have been asking for, but no, they wanted to reinvent the DMR, and it was a flop. Now for it with the issues in SWAT, and yes, I'm going to be calling it that because it's always been called SWAT, and it sounds a lot cooler when he says SWAT instead of Tactical Slayer.
Tactical Slayer. SWAT.
But first, about the objectives that got added into SWAT for like 3 weeks and no one would play it. And I don't blame them, because I leave those games too. Because this is how it would play out. 1. Either your teammates leave or some of the enemy leave, making it a 1v3 or a 2v4, and no one wants to play with half a team, so we leave and try to get a normal match of SWAT. Or 2. Everyone just leaves. I know it's not in the game anymore, but I'm just so confused as to why it was added. Back in Halo 3, 80% of my matchmaking games were all SWAT, and never have I ever seen an objective in SWAT, not even in Reach when I did play it. Now for the problem with the bandit rifle in SWAT. For me, I feel it shouldn't be in SWAT. It's too slow and it doesn't go with the flow. I don't know why they removed both the commando and sidekick from the playlist. Now I feel like more players are leaving the game because there's only 2 different modes to pick from, and only one of them is good. They don't have to outright remove it from the game entirely, just from SWAT, and add back the commando and sidekick to the playlist. Honestly, the best way to stop people from leaving the games is to bring back veto. There are games that I just rather not play, and if I was able to vote, then I think a lot of people would stay in the game because they can pick the map and game that they want to play. So come on 343, where's the veto system? That was probably all my takes on SWAT, and just a few more small ones I want to get out of the way. So first, with the campaign customization items that we get from it. Why is it so little and bad? I feel like for those who bought the campaign, we should get a bit more, especially knowing how horrible of a campaign we got. 343 can easily make an Easter egg or such for maybe something cool like Hayabusa armor. They can make an Easter egg or maybe completing the campaign without dying on Legendary, or even Lasso, and you'd get the armor set. It'd be nice to have something like that because honestly there's nothing cool or even decent looking from the campaign that you can unlock on your Spartan. Just, God, please, 343, don't give us something like a damn visor color, give us something that's actually good. And where's the cross core? Literally the whole community has been asking for it since Season 1, and throughout all of Season 3 we've been asking for it. And all they gave us was a visor cross core. And if you do buy and pay for a coating from the store, you can't even use it on all the cores. You need to buy a bundle for like 20 bucks for one coating that's on all your cores. It should not be like that. Hopefully soon we'll finally get cross core because the bots have cross core and it looks great. So why not us 343? Now my final takes, and these are about the game crashes and server lags. I know that making a game run on PC is a difficult task. You have so many parts to a PC that you don't know what will happen. A game can run on one PC, but not the other. Fortunately for me and some others, we're able to run Halo Infinite, but unfortunately, it's not for long. Many people have crashed from just trying to get into a game, and other times you'll crash in the middle of a game. And what's really dumb about that is that you can get a temporary ban from that crash, something completely out of your control. I got a temporary ban for 2 hours because the game crashed twice while loading into a match. Why do we get a ban for something 343 can't solve? Maybe keep the bans in ranked and not in the other game types, because I know I'm not the only one who's received a temporary ban from a game crash. But even when the game doesn't crash, the server performance feels laggy. Halo Infinite is a fast and competitive game. Well, according to one guy, which it's not, but let's say it is. Then we should have fast, reliable, and high tick rate servers. Yet we don't, and the servers that we do have are horrible. There will be times where the whole server just crashes. Me and my friend were playing once, and all of a sudden we both crashed at the same time. And I know it wasn't only us, because others have posted clips with a full lobby of friends, and all of a sudden the server just crashes for everyone in that match. The servers for Halo Infinite are bad. There have been so many times where I would die behind cover, or other times I would get a kill on someone who wasn't really showing themselves. If Halo Infinite wants to be a fast and competitive game, again, which it's not, then why do we get such shitty servers? What happened to dedicated servers? The ones that we have right now are so bad, it always feels like it takes a bit for the server to register what has happened. The tick rate sucks at only 60 Hz, at least double it to 120, or if you want to go pro, then 128 ticks will do. Halo Infinite is backed by Microsoft, but we have servers that feel like they run on a damn potato. We should have dedicated servers. Many people have been asking for it, and for a while too. But maybe one day they'll listen to us and give us dedicated servers, but who knows. And that's about all I wanted to talk about. Overall, Season 3 was a big step up from Season 2, and continues to get better and better with each update. There'll always be some hiccups, but that's to be expected. No one can make a game and have it 100% perfect. But with the way 343 is listening to us, I feel we'll get close to perfect. I really can't wait for Season 4 and Season 5 and so on. I've been playing since day 1 and I'll continue to play Halo Infinite because, to me, it's a fun game and I love Halo. So let me know what you think. Do you agree, disagree, or maybe have a completely different view? You can tell me in the comments, just keep it civil. And that's about all. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a like or dislike if you didn't, and maybe a comment on why or why not. Also, I might be streaming some Halo Infinite or another game right now on my Twitch. Link's on the screen, and you won't know what game I'm streaming until you click the link. Come on, I know you wanna. Please?